What's up, everybody? This is Clock Management. I'm your host, Justin, and as always, I'm joined by Perry.
Justin, quick. Stop, drop, and roll. Baby, you're on fire.
That would have got really dangerous with all these chords.
Strangle yourself.
I looked down and I was like, nope, don't do it, Justin. Don't do it. It's a trick.
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
Thank you, Admiral Akbar.
we made it. We're into week 7 now.
You made it.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think I made it.
You're still there. You're still there. Playoffs haven't started. You're still in the hunt.
Okay. Woo. I know, man.
Yeah, it's been a vicious season.
That's a good way to put it. You know what? I take solace in the fact that there are other people out there that are struggling too, just like me this season. And we'll get out of it. We're going to make it out. I'm a firm believer, guys, that if you keep listening to this show, keep taking our advice, stay active on the waiver wire, you will make it out alive, right? It's the people that give up that won't make it out.
Yep.
So don't give up.
Yeah, shoot. In our league of record, the year I won, I was the last seat in the playoffs.
Yep.
Yeah, so we're going to be going over waiver wire pickups today. So make sure you guys out there are listening so you could pick up some of these guys that are going to help you win in the future. Also, we are giving away a DeMarco Murray autographed jersey here in 2 weeks. So make sure you guys subscribe to our channel on YouTube and leave a comment on the videos, and that enters you to win a jersey. That's all you have to do. It's easy.
It's super easy. It's unreasonably easy.
I
There's no reason why you shouldn't do it.
Yeah. I think it's not unreasonably easy, because I feel like that's not a thing. I feel like it's unreasonable not to do it.
Okay. All right. I'm tracking.
You're being unreasonable. This is too easy.
Take my money. Man. Okay. Well, it's clock management. It's fantasy football.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about some news, Barry.
Yeah, boy. Okay, well, let's jump into it here. Got a lot of injuries this week, actually. Again, no like super high end players getting injured, so that's nice. But we did have some like middle of the pack guys that were filling in for your high end players and that sort of thing get hurt. So the field is just getting thinner and thinner here. So Raheem Mostert with a high ankle sprain left the game in the first half. Justin, were you watching that game?
Yeah, of course.
You invested for some reason? Or?
Yeah, I'm a little bit of a fan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, of football and the 49ers as well.
Oh, the 49ers. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No idea. Anyways, yeah, so Raheem Mostert is most likely going to be going on to IR. Well, Justin, you and I talked earlier today, and I mean, we both kind of assumed Jerick McKinnon would have been the guy. Yeah. Jeff Wilson probably involved. But the
49ers had something up their sleeve.
Yeah.
They pulled yet another running back out of nowhere.
I don't know what happened there, but for me, it seems like we just go back to where we were like 3 weeks ago with Jerick McKinnon and Jeff Wilson both being like RB3s and startable as an RB3 flex option.
I'm going to go back to what I was saying 3 weeks ago and say that I think Jerick McKinnon is the better back in this situation. And depending on the matchup, he could be like RB2 for you.
Yeah, I think he has RB2 upside, but I would ideally want him in the flex. But yes. Okay. Tevin Coleman, still on IR, not a factor at this point. Sterling Shepard may return in week 7. The only reason I bring up Sterling Shepard is that Darius Slayton has been pretty much the only startable option on this team, and he's been a great option. Do you think this is going to cut into Darius Slayton's, I don't know, surge here?
I don't think
Are
so.
you
Like,
worried?
no, I mean, not for Slayton. I still think Slayton's the only serviceable one. Um, I'm sure, or I'm sure Shepard will get some targets, but
That was a lot there.
yeah. But I still think Slayton's going to be just fine. This is a team that's going to be losing football games. That's going to need to throw the ball quite a bit. And though I don't have a lot of faith in Danny Dimes, I do think Slayton is a pretty good wide receiver.
I think he's a really good wide receiver. I think he's doing very well considering the team that he's on, to be completely honest with you. But yeah, I mean, I would still, if you're starting Slayton, and you kind of have to be, right? Just continue to start him. Don't worry about Sterling Shepard. But yeah, there's going to be that game where Sterling Shepard scores the touchdown that you wanted to go to Slayton. So it's just the way she goes, man. It's just the way she goes.
Yeah, but I mean, that could have been anyone, Perry. I mean, that happens on every team. I mean, it could have been Christian Kirk. Too soon? Too soon?
Leave this podcast. I will leave this podcast.
For everyone else, Perry just lost in our league due to a couple Christian Kirk spontaneous touchdowns.
All right. Corey Davis activated from the COVID-19 IR list. Corey Davis was playing well before he went on with 15 receptions, 206 yards, and a touchdown in the first 3 games. I mean, he was borderline startable, Corey Davis. I mean, we made jokes about it, but he was. Do you think he returns to that? This offense is moving, man. Like, they're clicking. The offense is doing really well. I mean, I'm not worried about A.J. Brown losing a bunch of work to Corey Davis, but
I'm not worried. Adam Humphries, yeah, he's kind of screwed in this, but I don't think that Corey Davis goes back to where he was, because you remember this was around the time when A.J. Brown was missing sometime, when Corey Davis was startable. So I just think that him and Humphries both kind of split these targets Humphries has gotten, and it kind of makes neither one of them startable. And we go back to what Corey Davis has been the rest of his career.
I don't know if I quite go that far. I think Corey Davis is definitely somebody that I would like to stash in a deeper league, because this offense is moving so well. Ryan Tannehill is playing so well. It could be a situation where I want a piece of that offense. And if it's Corey Davis as like my third wide receiver, I wouldn't mind starting that. If I'm getting the Corey Davis from a couple weeks ago and it's A.J. Brown and Corey Davis, kind of A.J. Brown carrying the one load for sure, Corey Davis has shown that he can do it. I don't know. I agree with you. I'm not looking to start Corey Davis at the moment, but I also don't want to be the guy that missed out on Corey Davis, 2 weeks from now when it turns out, oh, wow, he's a big part of this offense.
I've been okay being the guy who's missed out on Corey Davis for the last however many years. I'm going to continue that.
Nobody has missed out on Corey Davis ever. So don't lie. Don't lie, Justin.
So I'll stick to that train.
All right. Mark Ingram said he maybe will be able to return in week 8. I feel like we talked a lot about this Ravens backfield in our last episode, Justin.
Mm-hmm.
Are you still all in on J.K. Dobbins? Is that, I mean, not all in as in that's you're starting him, but you seem to think that J.K. Dobbins is the guy to own here for sure.
Yeah, and I think just moving forward, we'll see it more and more. Like, especially with, Mark Ingram missing a little bit of time, it'll give him, the opportunity to establish himself.
I don't know, man. I just don't trust his backfield. Like, for some reason, I just have this feeling that Gus Edwards is going to go out there and
he is
carries
the
at
bus.
11 carries.
Yeah, hop on.
J.K. Dobbins will have 10.
Yeah, so he will, but Gus Edwards is going to have 11 carries for 14 yards, and J.K. Dobbins is going to have 9 carries for 44 yards, and then 5 receptions, for 30 something yards as well. So he's going to produce. He's going to be more productive with the touches he gets.
You may be right. I mean, looking at his rushing attempts for the season, it's 7, 2, 1, 5, 1, and 9. And his receptions are 0, 1, 4, 1, 3, and 2. Yeah. So there would have to be like a pretty big uptick for me to really buy into Dobbins. I think he's very good. Let me get that straight. It has nothing to do with Dobbins. It has everything to do with the situation. I mean, Lamar Jackson is stealing carries.
Absolutely. That's
Gus Edwards is stealing carries.
Don't get it confused. Back. Lamar Jackson is the number one running back in that offense.
Yes. Yeah. That's definitely true. Okay. Christian McCaffrey could be out until week 9 is the current report. They don't expect him back this coming week because he hasn't been pulled off IR yet. That means he probably won't be back for week 8, which is a Thursday night game. So we're looking at week 9 for Christian McCaffrey. This sucks, man.
Yeah, it does.
A lot of 101 picks sitting on the IR right now in Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, it's brutal. I know I have him in a couple leagues, and it's brutal just having him down there, not being able to play him. One of those leagues is a gigantic league I'm in, which means there was not many people when the pick came back to me. So I'm really hurting in that league.
Yeah.
I think I have one win.
I do think that this longer term, I don't know, IR stint means that when he comes back, he's going to be fully healthy.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
I think the longer this goes, the more confident I am putting him in as
Mike
soon
Davis
as
has been doing just fine. Like, they don't need to rush him back. It's not like they're in full-on panic mode. Oh, we need to get Christian McCaffrey back here because our running backs are so horrible.
I'm not going to lie to you. I kind of want Mike Davis to do poorly. Like, I want Christian McCaffrey back. I need Mike Davis just to be a stinker for the next week. But honestly, just
pull a Zeke and just fumble the ball an abundant amount of times.
Yeah. Oh boy, that was ugly tonight, wasn't it? But
oh man, did you see my Twitter post about him?
No, I did not.
Oh, you know the Lonely Island song, "Throw It on the Ground."
Yeah.
It's like, this is Zeke tonight.
That was that Dallas team looked really bad.
Yeah, everyone on their team was throwing it on the ground.
Everyone.
Andy Dalton.
Yep.
He wasn't to the receivers.
Right on the ground. But then when they did throw it to the receivers, they wouldn't even throw it on the ground. They smacked it on the ground.
Yeah. It was amazing.
There's so many drops. They made Andy Dalton look so bad.
And he was doing a pretty good job of that himself.
Yeah. He's already starting at a low point.
Yeah, he didn't need their help.
Yeah, it's like getting the 1% richer, man. Like, they don't need help. You know what I mean? Like, Andy Dalton is the 1% on the other end. He doesn't need help getting worse, okay? Anyways, that's not fair. Andy Dalton is I mean, I would honestly almost take Andy Dalton Denver, but Drew Lock looked okay. So anyways, moving on. Okay.
It's like stealing from a homeless person.
Zach Ertz expected to miss 3 to 4 weeks with an ankle injury. Mr. Zachary Ertz.
Yeah.
I mean, were you starting Zach Ertz anyways?
I might have, depending on the situation, but like it's horrible that's a decision, like something you have to think about. He was the best pass catcher on that team. I mean, probably going into the season, but definitely by week 2. And now they just have nobody. Well, not quite nobody, but they like no one whose name we knew going into this season.
Yeah. I mean, his target totals have been pretty good. I mean, 7, 7, 10, 5, 6, and 10. If my tight end was guaranteed those targets every week, I'd be really happy. But it's like these yardage totals: 18, 42, 70, 9, 6, 33. It's
like, because I mean, some of those targets too are not like legit targets. It's just like a panic throw 40 feet over his head, but he was the intended target.
You know, we give Carson Wentz a lot of flack for
He
playing
deserves
so poorly
it.
this year. Let me finish, okay? I'm speaking. Let me finish. His offensive line might be the worst offensive line I have ever seen. I watched a series of highlights of their offensive line this season, and not once, not twice, but 3 times he's been tackled by his own offensive lineman. I'm dead serious. His offensive lineman gets like pushed, and the lineman's trying to catch his like feet and literally just tackles Carson Wentz.
That's awesome.
And causes the sack. Anyways. Zach Ertz is out 3 to 4 weeks. Dallas Goedert is already gone. Who do you pick up right now? Richard Rodgers? Do you want the tight end for this team?
No,
I don't.
No, you don't. You do not want a tight end from them. Like I discussed this with someone else earlier today. No, you don't. Just because they're a starting tight end does not mean you want them.
Okay, so who are you gonna go pick up then right now? Gronk? How do you feel about Gronk? He scored a touchdown, 91st touchdown.
We'll get to some waivers here in a little bit.
Okay, well, Justin, we could talk about it now too. Anyways, Jonnu Smith, minor ankle sprain. He's questionable for week 7. Just something to pay attention to. Questionable, minor. Those are 2 words that are okay when you hear about an injury. I think he'll play. I personally
I do as well.
Yeah. If he doesn't play, I don't think he'll be out for a lengthy period of time. Do not drop Jonnu Smith. Okay. No. Now for the people that didn't hear that, go pick up Jonnu Smith if somebody's an idiot and drops Jonnu Smith.
Yes, please.
Thank you. So this is not a news headline from the start of the season. This is a news headline from today. David Njoku requested trade from the Browns. David Njoku. I think that if Njoku gets traded, Austin Hooper is definitely somebody to target if you lost Ertz.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that later. Apparently, I'm not allowed to talk about that stuff right now. I'll get in trouble with Justin.
Yeah. I'll put you in timeout.
You can't do anything to me. I'm an adult. Miles Sanders with a knee injury is expected to miss week 7. I think he's going to be out at least 2 weeks. I'm thinking 2 weeks right now because he's going to miss Thursday night against the Giants, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say anything else because I can't talk about.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
I said it.
Spoiler alert.
Fight me. All right, I'm done.
Is that all the news?
Yeah, dude. I could talk about my own woes some more. If you guys just want to,
if you want to
be my support
use this to be to vent.
Oh my goodness! I just want to say this is what I want to say. Okay, Aaron Rodgers. Okay, averaging like 30 points a game in our league. Okay, literally, that's not an exaggeration. Averaging like 30 points a game. I go pick up Darrell Henderson back in like week 2 or whatever. He's great, right? He's great. I pick him up. I throw him in my lineup. He's terrible. I trade him away for Aaron Rodgers. I get Aaron Rodgers on my team thinking, okay, here we go. Darrell Henderson is great the next 2 weeks that I traded him away. Aaron Rodgers is on a bye week the first week and puts up 3 points. What is up with that? Darrell anyways, let's move on. This is news nobody cares about. So I guess I can keep going if I want to. Don't
worry. I already transitioned the graphic as soon as you started.
Good. Yeah, I know this is news nobody cares about, but I need help. Go on, Justin.
And more news no one cares about. Max Kellerman and Dan Orlovsky, they got heated. Yeah, only because there's a UFC fighter with the same name.
Oh, okay.
They got heated in a disagreement over if Carson Wentz is bad.
Which side was Max Kellerman on?
He was on the he is bad
Oh.
side.
Okay, well, that's it. I can't agree with Max Kellerman. Carson Wentz is good.
Oh no. I know.
No,
I saw the argument. I'm like, man, I agree with him.
Hmm.
I
No.
have to. I'm just gonna say he agrees with me. He agrees with me because that's better.
I would take Carson Wentz on Denver.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, really do think that team.
He's
is
put
really
in a
bad.
horrible situation
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah,
He's put in a no-win situation,
right.
but he is playing horrible as well in that no-win
I think he's
situation.
playing pretty poorly. But I'm going to put a lot of the blame on coaching as well. I think
Absolutely.
I think that whole team's going to get blown up this offseason.
Yeah, they should.
Mm-hmm. Especially if Nick Foles goes and wins the Super Bowl for the Bears.
So I'm saving one, right? I'm saving one of these for the last one. So Kirk Cousins.
You're saving one for the last one. That makes sense. That's how it works.
Yeah, but a specific one.
Oh.
Kirk Cousins said he won't finish the season if he continues his interceptions. And
True.
yeah, like, well, yeah,
True.
Hey, if I continue
looked
throwing
like
interceptions,
garbage.
they won't let me play. Yeah, good.
That was
good call.
That was always the thing about Kirk Cousins is like, yeah, he has this big game every now and then, but he's pretty much a game manager. Doesn't turn it over all that much.
Yeah, makes good
Not
decisions.
this season.
Yeah.
This season, he's kind of that game manager, not that good, but now turns it over a ton. It's like, why even have him out there?
He's Jameis Winston minus the yards and touchdowns.
Right. That's not what you want to be.
He's like, yeah, I throw it deep every once in a while. Just goes to the other team every time.
Go to Adam Thielen.
Right. Or Justin Jefferson. Literally anyone on your team would be cool.
Oh, it went to Justin Jefferson this week. Okay?
Yeah, that's true.
It did not go to Adam Thielen. Trust me, he's also on my team.
Oh man. All right.
I know, it's rough, dude. I'm glad you feel my pain.
Last news no one cares about. Money on the New York Jets to win the Super Bowl has gone up in the last week in Las Vegas sports books.
Like, people are putting money on the Jets to win the Super Bowl?
Yes, it's actually increased. Like, the number of people betting has increased in the last week. What? Yeah. This is the one I saved. Like, what?
Like, I understand this idea of like, hey, it's just $100, and if they win, right? Like, look at this huge payout. But I promise, I swear to all that is holy, the Jets will not win the Super Bowl.
No, yeah, the
Jets will not even smell the Super Bowl.
Like, yeah, it's only $100 and the payout's huge, but you literally have a better chance of throwing that $100 bill into a fountain and your wish coming true
of the Jets winning the Super Bowl. Like, I'm pretty sure that their TV provider will not even allow the Jets to watch the Super Bowl.
No, you did not earn that this year.
Yeah, nope, sorry. That's like, it's gonna pop up like that. It's like, Frank down the road doesn't even play football and he gets to watch. No. Adam Gase, you are not allowed to watch this.
Hey, Frank Gore does play football.
That's true. You've got me there.
He's now a starting running back,
which is crazy. Oh my goodness. What a world, man.
Right? All right. Now, Perry, now we can talk about waivers.
I want to talk about Frank Gore more. So we'll start with Michael Pirine.
Yeah. So Michael Pirine is one of the options for waiver wire. It's not a high waiver option. He's definitely not my first option at running back due to the Jets not even being able to watch the Super Bowl because they're such a horrible dumpster fire of a team. the running
Can
back
I
position is not a great one for that. Yeah, go ahead.
can I read a quote here from Rotoballer about LaMichael Pirine?
Yeah.
Okay, just really quickly. It says, in a logical world, the rookie would have a golden opportunity to showcase his skills and take over a significant portion of the backfield now that RB1 Le'Veon Bell has been released. Unfortunately, we live in a world where Adam Gase is still the head coach of the Jets, and he hates all running backs.
No, he hates winning.
Oh, right. Oh, and then it says right here in parentheses, and good players.
That's true. It's so true. And I mean, being like a 49er fan, I have like a love for Frank Gore, but it's just
Oh,
so
man.
sad at this point.
You know what's crazy is when Frank Gore was a running back for the 49ers, I was still a child. like I was living at my dad's house going to school. Like
Yeah.
Frank Gore's 37 years old, man.
Yeah. I told you next time we mentioned him, his age would change.
Anyways, LaMichael Pirine. Is
Yeah.
he worth a roster?
If you're in a deep league, yes. But there's definitely other guys that I would place above him that, you know, may or may not be out there in your league. But he's a guy that you should consider depending on the size of your league.
Okay. I'm going to ask for two options. A guy for rest of season that you would take over him, and a guy to win right now that you would take over him.
So a guy to win right now, that's going to be my Boston Scott.
Mm-hmm. That's who I was fishing for when I asked this question.
For the the rest of the season, that's a little bit tougher. I'm looking through guys I've written down on here. Running backs. I should have sorted this a little bit better. Oh man.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe Justin Jackson.
Oh yeah, I like Justin Jackson. Definitely. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I was thinking Justin Jackson. He got more touches than Joshua Kelly this week. And in the fourth quarter and on passing downs, it was Justin Jackson. So that looks really promising. Keeping in mind, I'm fully aware that Austin Eckler will be back at some point in the season, but it's still looking like it's going to be a little while.
Yeah, that's the more long-term play there.
Yeah, for sure. And then Boston Scott. Tell me about Boston Scott, man. I don't know. We just talked about how bad this team is. Miles Sanders, I think, is really talented.
Yeah,
and looks okay.
Yeah.
Right? Like I think Miles Sanders is way better than Boston Scott, but I don't know, on this team.
No, I mean he is better than Boston Scott for sure. But with him out, I mean, Boston Scott should see a ton of volume because Boston Scott would get in there, you know, sometimes even with Miles Sanders, sometimes illogically. So I think that he's going to be like, if they have a good matchup, you could put him in there and he could do some damage. And you need to monitor, you pick him up so you can monitor that Miles Sanders injury because we don't know what the injury exactly is yet. So he may miss a significant amount of time. He may just be out a week or two. So you're going to grab him, throw him in any good matchup where he's playing a defense that is not great. If he's playing like the Tampa defense or Indianapolis or Pittsburgh, don't put him in your lineup. You're going to regret that.
Yeah. I've got three guys I was going to mention as like depth pickups. These aren't guys that you're going to start right away. One of them you possibly could, but don't. I guess I'll start with that guy. That's Dearness Johnson, running back for the Cleveland Browns. I understand that we talked about Dearness Johnson 2 weeks ago when Nick Chubb went on IR.
But no one owns him still.
But he was really bad the last 2 weeks. But he was playing the Colts and the Steelers, who are two of the top three defenses in the league. This coming week, Cincinnati. He's also the guy behind Kareem Hunt. If Kareem Hunt were to go down, and let's all remember, Kareem Hunt has been limited at practice the last 2 weeks going into games. There's a chance Kareem Hunt gets hurt. And then it's all Dearness Johnson at that point. So he's an insurance policy. If you have room on your bench, you should pick him up. Another guy is Jeremy McNichols, running back for the Tennessee Titans. The rookie running back for the Titans, Darrington Evans, who was the handcuff to Derrick Henry, is now on IR. Jeremy McNichols is now the new handcuff to Derrick Henry. And we all saw what Derrick Henry did this week, over 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. I don't think McNichols will look anything like that, but he was good this week.
Well,
Rushed
yeah,
5
'cause
times for 51 yards, man.
He doesn't have horse legs, so
Right there. Yeah, I've been saying it for 2 years now. Derrick Henry needs to be checked out. I think he has horse legs. But Jeremy McNichols is a good handcuff to own right now. And then the last guy I was going to mention here that we've already kind of talked about is Jeff Wilson. I think if Jeff Wilson is available in your league, he's a big pickup for me. With Raheem Mostert going down, Jeff Wilson will see some goal line work for sure. Justin's right. I think Jerick McKinnon is the guy to own here.
yeah. So check your waiver wire. There are some leagues where McKinnon's also out there, which is crazy.
Yeah, but McKinnon, we all know his injury history, right?
Yeah.
I think you want the guy behind him now that there's nobody else, right? Essentially, I know JaMychal Hasty is around, but
Yeah, you're crazy.
Jeff Wilson will be.
The 49ers have at least 8 running backs at all times. I don't know who they are, but they're there.
Okay. And then, sorry, last guy, real quick here, Jamal Williams. If you're the Aaron Jones owner and you don't have Jamal Williams on your team, you do not know how to play fantasy football.
Yeah, and there's a chance, especially in like a lot of these home leagues and not as competitive leagues, where people may have dropped him even if they picked him up just because he hasn't been that productive. But you're not drafting him to be productive with Aaron Jones there.
I mean, Jamal Williams has looked very good every time he touches the ball.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he looks really good. The problem is he has a world-class running back ahead of him, right? You're not picking up these guys. I mean, this is kind of the portion of the season where we need to start talking more and more about handcuffs, because you need to be prepared when these guys go down, right? Obviously, I wasn't going to roster Mike Davis with Christian McCaffrey week 1. But if I would definitely be going and getting Mike Davis right now if Christian McCaffrey was even still healthy, right? If Christian McCaffrey's doing fine, I'm going to start handcuffing my guys if I can. So, anyways.
Yeah. Another guy I want to mention, this one's a little bit of a deeper league pickup, is J.D. McKissick from the Washington football team. He's had, in PPR, he has a lot more value because he gets used in the passing game. He always has. That's always been his MO throughout his career. But he's had 6 catches and over 40 yards in 3 games in a row. So he's kind of filling that role they used to have.
Chris Thompson.
Yeah, Chris Thompson fill. So in some of these leagues, you could pick him up and use him in a flex spot in an emergency situation. But just keep that in mind. It's a deeper pickup. A lot of these other guys I would rather have than him, but he's out there and he's available in almost every league.
Right on.
All right,
move on to wide receivers?
Yeah, let's move on to some wide receivers.
Okay. Just so we don't need to talk about this at length, a couple of guys that you need to make sure are not sitting on waiver right now. Number 1 is Chase Claypool. I think last week I didn't really buy in enough. I'm fully bought in on Chase Claypool at this point. So.
I do want to say, I'm buying in on it, but also I do want to say the reason why we didn't buy in on it last week is because Deontay Johnson was expected to play, and then he decided, no, I'm not quite ready yet. So Claypool he continued his breakout. Deontay Johnson should be back, but still, if he's out there, roster him and see what happens.
Right. And then another guy is Laviska Shenault.
He shouldn't be the number
1 receiver. He might be the number 1 receiver on this team. He might be.
Yeah, I like him. I like him more than Chark.
Yeah, at this point, man, I don't know.
So
I haven't given up on Chark yet, but
I never fully bought into Chark. I don't. I just couldn't get fully on board the train.
I think it's because people sang the baby.
Yeah, that probably ruined it. Yeah, that must have been it.
I mean, he should be pissed about that.
That ruined his career.
Right, and then Russell Gage.
Started. Russell Gage.
Yeah, is somebody that just, if he's available, again, you might not be starting all these guys, but these are guys that should probably be owned. Do you have any big waivers that we need to be paying attention to going into this week for wide receivers?
Yes, but first I do want to jump back. I forgot to mention one running back, and we did talk about him, but just also officially in this part of the show, Gus Edwards. He's going to get touches and he's going to get touchdowns because he'll get goal line work.
Okay.
And he's owned in 1% of leagues.
Okay. Right.
But yeah, wide receivers. I got a couple guys here. Here's another one that should be owned. He's owned in under half of leagues, fantasy football leagues. But that is insulting. That's T. Higgins. If he's out there, grab him. He should not be this. He's owned in 43% of leagues. He shouldn't. That shouldn't be a thing.
T. Higgins is literally, of all the guys we mentioned, T. Higgins is probably the top of my list.
Yeah, me too. AJ Green had a decent week this week. That's awesome. That means people are going to be grabbing AJ Green over T. Higgins, and that's great for you guys because you could grab T. Higgins at a discount or get him for free and use him because he will get you more fantasy points. I promise you that.
Yeah, I like T. Higgins way more than AJ Green.
Yeah, Preston Williams, also from the Dolphins. I like him. He should be rostered. He's not in a lot of leagues. Check it out. If he's out there, pick him up. He has a solid role in Miami, and the more they use Tua, the happier I will be. I just
Fitzmagic for life.
Yeah, see, I don't trust Fitzmagic for a full season. You put him in for 3 weeks at a time, then you bench him for 3 weeks, put him back in for 3 weeks. That's how he works. Keep the magic fresh. Another guy. So I got 2 other guys here. The first one I like quite a bit is Tim Patrick from Denver Broncos. Perry, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Huh? Yeah.
Me too, man.
Like they've had a bunch of injuries that I know you're aware of, the Broncos as a whole, and he's like shown that he's a favorite target there, and he's been getting better and looking really good on the field. So he's had double-digit points in 3 straight games now, and he's just a nice little piece to your team you could get out there that people aren't even thinking about. He's owned in 18% of leagues. That's nothing. So you could grab him, throw him on your roster, and he's a guy you can plug and play.
Yeah, Tim Patrick is making a pretty strong argument that he's the number 1 wide receiver on that team and probably should be started over Jerry Jeudy right now.
Yeah, I would feel more comfortable.
Right.
Putting him in my lineup than I would Jerry Jeudy. And I mean, Jerry Jeudy is a great talent. I expect that to change at some point, but not in the next couple weeks. So,
yeah.
Speaking of Jacksonville, Perry, there's another receiver there that nobody owns, and that's Keelan Cole Sr. Yeah. 14% of leagues, which I like Tim Patrick more. But Keelan Cole, because you do have DJ Chark and Laviska Shenault there, both are better than Keelan Cole. But Keelan Cole does get his targets there. He has a role that's very defined for him in the game, and he's going to get his targets, and he comes out with some touchdowns here and there, which makes it worth it. So,
what about Travis Fulgham?
Oh, yes. Sorry, I forgot about that one. He might be my favorite one on this list. Cuz he has I mean, who else are they throwing the ball to? He's owned in 45% of leagues at this point, but that means
It's not
he's
Marquise
available.
Brown.
Yeah.
They're definitely not throwing it to him.
So you can, I mean, grab him. He's gonna get targets. He's gonna get catches because he's the only pass catcher healthy on their team. Mm-hmm. So yeah, go ahead and throw him in your lineup for now. And I want to say, like, if you're in any sort of dynasty and stuff or anything like that, Jalen Reagor, I mean, he's looking like a great stash right now.
Okay, right on. Let's move into tight ends, Justin.
Let's do it.
I'm curious, Justin. I didn't even look. We talked a lot about Noah Fant last week, possibly missing time, and who we could pick up instead. Who did you end up picking up?
In our main league?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even sure. Do you know?
I'll go look for you.
I want to say someone who did not produce, maybe?
You went and picked up Eric Ebron.
Oh, how do you do?
He did not produce.
Yeah.
2 receptions for 9 yards.
Yeah, it was between, and what really hurts is I was going back and forth between him and this first tight end I want to talk about, which is Trey Burton. And I went with the wrong one. Trey Burton, he came in, he got touchdowns, and he's the Colts tight end. Phillip Rivers doesn't like to throw the ball downfield. Well, I think he likes to. I just think he can't. So, I mean, you just need to be aware that he can't throw the ball deep. And so he loves checking down to his tight ends. Mo Alley Cox is there, Jack Doyle. Neither one of them are healthy, which has just opened up the position for Trey Burton and given him a bunch of targets. Burton is not amazing in any way to me. He's just in a great situation that amounts to fantasy points. So you could throw him in there until they get healthy.
Trey Burton or Dalton Schultz, who is now dealing with Andy Dalton?
Oh man, I would throw in Trey Burton for as long as Mo Alley Cox and Jack Doyle are not healthy.
Okay, Trey Burton or Austin Hooper?
Oh, Austin Hooper.
Okay, Trey Burton or another guy that I was going to talk about, Darren Fells.
Trey Burton.
I like Darren Fells quite a bit. I mean, he's
on my list as well.
Offense. Yeah, I mean, 7 targets this week.
Like I said, Trey Burton he's a stopgap because you're just using him because these other 2 tight ends are not healthy. I would rather have Darren Fells if I needed a tight end for a season. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let me ask you, if you just need a tight end to fill in this week, if Jonnu Smith is out, what about Anthony Frisker or Fiersker?
Yeah, so I think that's probably the better option for you.
Right.
Firkser.
I'm
going Firkser.
Yeah.
Anthony Firkser.
I Firks with that.
Yeah, I would Firk with that.
No quacks needed. Anyways, yeah, I mean, 8 receptions for 113 yards and a touchdown.
But, I mean, he might be owned in your league because he is owned in 0.1% of leagues. So just check that out. But, no, that's the better play, in my opinion, because you grab him in case Jonnu's not playing. So if you were to, like, let's say you go grab Trey Burton instead, there's a chance that all of a sudden Jack Doyle shows up there and he's like, hey, I'm ready to try and catch, some passes too. That could be bad for you. But with Firkser, either Jonnu's playing and you're starting Jonnu, or he's not playing and you're starting Firk. So, get him out there. I'm just going to start calling him Firk from now on.
There's Irv Smith Jr., Minnesota Vikings. there's a lot of hype going into the week for Irv Smith Jr. And I would say
He
didn't
did
he do
okay.
fairly well? He did what he had a touchdown this week, did he not?
I believe
Am I
so.
wrong? Yeah. Not feeling Irv Smith Jr.
No.
I agree
They
with
were
you.
going against the softest defense on in the NFL.
I don't know what happened.
He should have had 4 touchdowns, as should have
The,
every other pass catcher.
I don't know what happened. I hope you listened to me when you text me on if you should play Julio Jones. By the way, speaking of that game, did you listen to me?
I don't remember.
You asked me, and I'll find it real quick here. Justin Jefferson or Julio? Wow, what a world you live in where you have to make that decision. And I told you Julio, and Julio was great. Justin Jefferson was also great, but I hope you played Julio.
Oh, it actually wasn't for that. Wasn't the question? Wasn't for me.
Oh, okay.
I wish that was my situation.
Right on.
Hopefully they
Anybody
play
else?
both of them.
Yeah, no kidding. Anybody else you want to mention real quickly?
Tight ends. No, that covered you. Yeah, you nailed all the ones I had written down here. That's awesome. Oh,
Nice.
there is another one, which I don't
If
really.
you say Logan Thomas, I'm gonna be pissed.
No, it's not.
Okay.
This one is. I don't even want to say this name, Perry, but I got to. Dallas Goedert.
Oh. I mean, yeah. When does Dallas Goedert come back?
Yeah, so he could be he's eligible to return from IR this week.
Okay.
So he might be coming off of it. It's you got to wait and see. So I mean, just take that into consideration.
Consider it taken.
Thank you.
All right. Any streaming quarterback options this week that you really like?
Shoot, I don't have any on this list. Let me go to my other one. You have any you want to? Oh, I do. Wow. So Justin Herbert, yeah, surprised myself with. I'm like, oh, I came way more prepared than I thought. No, so Justin Herbert, he's coming off a bye week, so a lot of people stream quarterbacks. He might be out there, owned in 45% of leagues. So I mean, it's a great time to snag him and throw him in your lineup if you have him. He's been playing fantastic.
Yeah, I like Justin Herbert.
Yeah,
quite a bit. Let's see. Looking at the quarterback
and
position,
I will
here.
never ever put Kirk Cousins on this list again.
Yeah, he's burned us twice this season.
Yeah,
doing that, by the way. I mean, Ben Roethlisberger against Tennessee. Ben Roethlisberger is kind of past the point of being a stream. I think he's probably owned in a lot of leagues, but somebody should definitely pay attention to. Look and see if Drew Brees has been dropped in your leagues. He's playing Carolina this week.
Yeah. Also, Ryan Tannehill going against Pittsburgh. He's out there, so Ryan Tannehill's not. He's only owned in 54% of leagues, but also he's going against Pittsburgh. Great defense, but also Devin Bush just got hurt. That's something to consider as well. He's a key piece to that defense.
I think this week Ryan Tannehill might have not. I mean, he's not going to have a huge game. He's not going to have a 4-touchdown game again.
Yeah.
But I think at this point, Ryan Tannehill's probably an auto start in most leagues, so he's been that good. Joe Burrow against Cleveland, I think is a great play. Honestly, the New Orleans defense, we were really excited about them going into the season. I'm not all that excited right now, and I think Teddy Bridgewater's kind of a fun stream this week. Teddy Bridgewater's been doing fairly well.
How do you feel about Carson Wentz against the New York Giants?
No, there's better options, man.
Yeah, I agree. It's too dangerous. It could end up in just a horrible game for all offensive players involved.
Matt Ryan is probably on quite a few waiver wires at the moment because how bad his season started. I would And then, I mean, you saw what he did this week, man. By the way, I called it, Justin. I called it. Dan Quinn gone. The Falcons are good again. I called it.
Good. I mean, we said they would have an uptick with their for the first week. Now, I wouldn't go as far to say they're good again.
Hey, they're good.
They did good.
You done good, kid. You done good. There was another one that I got right too. I'm gonna pull up the schedule here while you continue with.
Yeah, talk about some quarterbacks. Yeah, yeah. I think Aaron Rodgers is fine going forward. I mean, he's not a waiver wire pick where you can stream him, but just don't worry about. He played horrible, but you can continue to start Aaron Rodgers going against Texans this week. And I feel like I'm talking directly to you at this point, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. Yeah, you are talking. I mean, I was starting Aaron Rodgers. Anyway.
Oh man, defense you could throw in there, and so I mean, the Buccaneers defense. I'm so excited for this matchup. They're going against the Raiders. I think they're gonna have a field day there. But the Raiders have
looked good.
Yeah, not the whole time. Their losses have looked really bad. But the whole time. Yeah, but then they've looked really good against some really good teams. So yeah, you're right. Yeah. They haven't looked horrible. They've looked pretty good in some of these games.
I think it was that it was either the Lions Jaguars, where I took the Lions and they won, or it was that I thought the Ravens might put up or the Eagles might put up a decent fight on the Ravens, and the Eagles almost came back in that game, and they lost 30-28.
I just was shocked that the Falcons did not give up that lead.
I know. I was just waiting for it to happen every time.
Yeah.
It didn't.
And I would not stream Jimmy G against the Patriots defense.
I don't know, man. Like that. This is the last thing we're going to talk about because this is going on. But that Patriots Broncos game, was it just a battle of two good defenses? Is that what happened there? I mean, Denver did only score. They won with just field goals.
Yeah, that's what it seemed to be. Denver's defense seemed to step up. I mean, they were doing really good against Cam. It was impressive.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just wondering if Denver's defense is something that we should be looking to stream against bad teams going forward.
Oh my God. You know who's a streamable quarterback this week though? Alex Smith against the Cowboys defense.
I don't know, man. That it's not like Fitzmagic.
No.
Against the Cowboys defense.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
But it's crazy that he could be a top 12 quarterback this week.
He could be, yeah.
Yeah,
he could be,
and that's all right. That's crazy to even think of.
Go pick up Alex Smith. Justin says stream Alex Smith. We're gonna leave it right there. Please subscribe and comment so you can win that signed DeMarco Murray jersey. And it's a Cowboys jersey, so it was when he was good. You want it. Yeah, you want it.
I think he fumbled less than Zeke.
Probably. He was really good. Okay.
We'll see you guys Friday.